Hello, welcome back to Blender Station LiveNoding. Today I will take a look at RenderMan layer texturing. Alright, so let's switch to RenderMan and quickly maybe just use this default cube, just give it a material, Pixar surface, and we can start working. Take a look at the texture. Okay, so RenderMan nodes lives under here, and we have patterns and we have all kind of textures. Actually, patterns has a lot of nodes. I haven't checked all of them. It's definitely gonna take some time. But the cool one is like Pixar Dirt. That's also like a big nodes and powerful. But the one that I want to check today is just texture, maybe fractal, noise, whirly. This is some of the nodes. That's dealing with texturing. Okay, so let's, for example, plug this into the diffuse. So save this as PxrMan procedural texture. Similar to Blender's own noise texture and procedural texture, this will give you some texture. Let's give it quick light. So a lot of presets, a lot of ways to quickly give light. This become like a habit. Okay, so we have this and the fractal. Can you see the fractal? Cannot really see the fractal. All right, maybe we need to have like a manifold pattern. Okay, let's search manifold 2D. Okay, so it's updating after I created this thing. So we can use manifold and try some things. So this is basically like using the UV of this material or of this geometry and assigning it. There's actually a lot of interesting nodes with RenderMan that you need to kind of try and error. I'm gonna use the torus and gonna smooth this, give it material. So with things like this, if you want to subdivide it, you can use also RenderMan convert to subdiv. So this is kind of special. So instead of using this modifier, you can just tag it. So your objects will have this mesh attributes, subdivision mesh set to Catmull Clark. For this, I just gonna maybe bevel it and subdivide from here. Take a look at the render. So this is what we get. Pretty interesting, and you can see the quality. So this is actually kind of nice to be able to do this very quickly. You can of course like mix and match. I believe there's also Pixar mix to mix two different color. Oh, this one, the result is not color, so you can mix the color over here. So with the fractal, let's first of all, maybe you can do it this way. Oh, by the way, the noise, of course, this is like the noise that we all know. We have Perlin, Simplex, Gabor, we have Cell. Similar to Blender, we can actually adjust the frequency here also. Pretty cool. The color, so with Pixar one we have color scale and offset. This is just for you to play Yeah, something like that. If we now go back to what we have before, we can perhaps mix and match these two together. Okay, so mix it like halfway using two different manifold. We also have manifold 3D, just in case you missed that one. And we have other manifold, including there's a random texture manifold, and there's also tile and hex tile manifold. This this actually really cool, the hex tile, and then how about random texture? Yeah, especially I think with random we can just plug this. There's a result for multi, so this actually requires multiple texture, slightly different. Let's take a look. This one is the random one. I think this probably works better with like a proper texture, like instead of using procedural texture, this is something that requires a different thing. So let's try manifold 3D for now. So this is how you can wrap texture differently. So let's try also other things, other texture. Fractal grid phaser. This one is cool, but I don't know how to use this exactly, but this is a powerful one, and it's quite a big nodes. Probably need a multiple video. Okay. Phaser noise texture. Looks like a tree if you look at the texture of the tree. Looks quite beautiful. You can use the 2D version or 3D versions, which works really well with this 3D manifold actually. Yeah. One thing I almost forgot, with Pixar you can quickly bake your texture. Okay, so that's a really powerful, and you can bake and then pass it into Blender, for example. And let's just show it to you. PxrBakeTexture. Yeah, and I'm gonna try to save this as texture out, accept. The result will be by default OpenEXR or TIFF. Okay, OpenEXR is nice. Let's try. This resolution is very small. Let's increase it. And input color is something that we can, I believe we need to plug this in, but then again, even without me plugging in, if we try to bake, so we have pattern, illuminations, or all. Let's try pattern and bake. And it should do the baking for us. Maybe I need to select something. Bake illumination. Okay, let's try doing this. I wonder if we already have something. Interesting. bake. So this one, bake mode all actually works, and it's baking the texture for our monkey head, I think, because we have 3 different model. I think it's baking it on all of them. Yeah, this is the weird thing. It's actually using 3 of our objects together. At the same time. So I don't know if this is correct. But yeah, it's been baked. File, export. Anyway, there must be a proper way to do this. But if I save it like monkey, and if I file export GLB, include only selected objects with the apply modifier. So in theory, so this is EXR, open EXR, that's why it's opening it over here. And I just exported the monkey head. This is for AR. So this is the result of our monkey head. It doesn't seem to be subdivided, but yeah, we got the noise, we got the texture working. So at least it seems to be working properly. Yeah, maybe I should have subdivided this guy also. File, export, GLB. It's gonna override and then it's gonna update it here under reality converter. Yeah, you see, it's really funny because it's using all the 3 objects and kind of overlapping the texture. It's pretty weird, but so let's continue. We have this, this. You can disconnect this for now. Phaser noise. What else do we have? RenderMan, PxrTexture. Displacement is cool. If I use displacement in RenderMan is also as simple as the Blender one. I think that's just all you need to do. And then the displacement is also really fast with with RenderMan. Oh, it's calculating. Yeah. So let's see if this is working. Yeah, you can see here our default cube and Pixar phaser noise displacing the box. Pretty cool. File, save. So mix and match. Let's get rid of the displacement for now. Let's just cut it. We can have a bit of shininess and this phaser. I really like the noise, this texture. Oh yeah, I forgot to use this hex style manifold. Okay, this one is quite advanced one. It's expecting multiple texture, some Pixar multi-texture. If this is really quite a weird one. Okay, we can have like a multiple texture here, and then we can use this hex text manifold. Wow, this is pretty hard to connect. Okay, we can do it this way. Okay, Pixar hex style manifold. That's a cool one. And then let's try just a single texture. Documents. materials, bamboo base color. I choose the wrong material. This, it says multiple texture. You can have multiple texture, and it's gonna scatter the texture into the objects. There. Okay, this is a bamboo, and I'm using this multi-manifold. Without the multi-manifold, it's just like using the UV, but the hex style manifold is gonna scatter the bamboo. You can jitter it, change the frequency, and then it's gonna kind of randomly assign it. And this is quite a beautiful way to do tiling, like to make a quick texture. Let's try. If I have something else here, I can plug in leaf in autumn. Okay, it's not showing up. Maybe I can use some of these. First channel offset. Okay, that's for the RGB, looks like. Resulting mask. So we can use this as a mask as well. I'm using the I'm using the specular there. Maybe I can also use specular color. Okay, that's probably a little bit too much. Very nice. So that's the tile manifold. It has a lot of option for the file texture, but I don't know why. We have random texture manifold. We can use with result multi. So this is random, number of texture 2. Now, okay, this is a cool one. Okay, this is randomizing the texture that I provide up here. Okay, so it's like dots. Random, random, random. With the Pixar hex tile manifold, it's actually kind of blending using the blur. So this is more advanced. With the blend with scale jitter. Okay. Yeah, I like this really very much. So if we just delete this file, save as, new, I can maybe mix and match the texture of the wood with our texture. So this is using hex manifold. Let's mix the color using Pixar mix. So it's starting to get quite interesting here. Pixar surface output. This is multi-texture. This is Pixar mix color. I want to use the phaser noise. and the F, plug the F there, resulting color there. This goes there. A quick way to collapse this is just Control H, so this can keep everything a little bit tidier. That's Control H. So we have fractal, cloud, using manifold 3D and phaser noise, mixing everything. Let's take a look at the result. So we have the wood underneath, and we have this fractal. We have phaser noise that's affecting the fractal. This can have green color. So now we can try baking it again. And this gonna go jump straight to it. So it's it has the noise and so on, and it also has the Z, which is quite interesting. File, export file, monkey 2. So this is the result. If I use maybe like preset, stylized, so this is using the HDR environment, right? The environment is pretty funky here. This will actually get baked as well. Bake. So there we go, there's a color being baked. Export file, monkey 3. If we increase the sampling here, we're gonna get less noise. Baking illuminations 2D 3D. I kind of wondering why pattern doesn't work. I'm pretty sure it works if we have camera in the scenes. Add a camera. Maybe it's gonna bake it from projection, you know. Gonna test this. I hit the button. Not getting anything, which is weird. Oh well. I have to check again why it doesn't work. But the illumination works, or actually all. Okay, just the illuminations. Yeah, it's baking it. That's pretty interesting. So it's very similar with the other one. Export file, monkey. Okay. Let's continue. What else we haven't tried? We actually have so we have fractal. We actually have other things. So this can be up there. It's Pixar Manifold 3D. We have checker, of course, Pixar checker. That's the common one to use. Checker in 3D. Can't really see the checker because it's being mixed with the other pattern. Maybe if I just skip that. So this is checker pattern using 3D manifold. We have 2D manifold. Okay, this is tricky, right? I want to put it there. Okay, that's cool. I can adjust the frequency. You can see the texture flowing on the monkey head. It's quite beautiful. So we can play around with the angle. We can also use maybe the other noise. Voronoi. Yeah, Voronoi. It's cool. It's like noise, but it's Voronoi. And we can plug the influence here, the F, into angle of manifold, for example. It's adding noise into the manifold. There's like unlimited ways we can do this. So I'm plugging it into frequency. Now we have completely different result. Okay. One more thing that you might want to try. I don't want to go too far with this, but you can use layer. So we have Pixar layer surface, layer blend, layer texture. And I haven't used this much, but I think you can layer shader this way. It's quite an advanced texture. I think I have another file example. So here, this is the donut. Pixar normal, Pixar surface, Pixar layer mixer. So it's mixing all these layers. We actually have 4 by default. Layer 1, 2, 3, 4, and each one of them have mask, kind of like layer in Photoshop. And I have all kind of texture assigned into this guy. So we can have this result. Yeah, it's a bit crazy. I could, for example, this is the fractal. If I get rid of the fractal, so we have that result. If I use the other texture, like phaser noise, but with 3D manifold, we have the stripes going on. Okay, this is the result. So this is like having all kind of different shader as a layer, and then using procedural texture noise to control the output to layer all these materials. I might give you the blend file. So we actually have glow color here that's been blended with the first layer over here. And I have this checker that maybe I don't need the checker. So I believe this is blending between the glow and my own color here, which is actually, I think this is the glass. This is glass material. Yep. It's very, very complex material. File, save as. I also have this iridescence material, which is always give like a quite a strange looking result. All kind of spectrum of color mixing together. Pixar Worley, this is another texture. In this case, it's looking like a quite like a cell, like a nice cell Voronoi. I quite like this one. Random scale 3. I disappear. -1. This C1 also control the cell distance. Yeah, quite nice. -0.5, -0.1. Yeah, this is nice. Color scale, we only use the F, so we don't need to worry about the color. This we use it as mask. And we have phaser noise. Oh well, so anyway, this is like layering shaders. We know that in the previous one we can layer noise and then use the noise also as the mask. So that's basically what it is. You just have to keep playing around with it. It's gonna take a while, and it's a good idea to make notes and then, you know, like take a screenshot. PxrBakeTexture, multi-texture. There's a lot here. Like, I mean, I like the dirt as well. Dirt is, like I said, it's a powerful one. Even without anything else, dirt will give you like a nice hard edge, things like that. Doesn't seem to update itself by default. Now I'm plugging the dirt, and there's occlusions, and you can see Suzanne now in a weird color. Maybe I should get rid of the dome light. Okay, this is just the dirt. Maybe use it with invert. So I'm using the invert color. This is the dirt color. Yeah, I think this is also quite nice. With this you can perhaps also mix it with passer noise. So we can see like a pattern underneath. Pretty weird. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much it for the quick introduction, quick tests into Pixar procedural texture, Pixar RenderMan. Maybe I'll revisit this, but I want to also make like a blog writing about it. Hopefully you find this interesting and useful. Thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.